Good morning, good evening. Welcome to this week's chat about YouTube live streaming and all the questions that you may have or didn't know you needed answered. I was away this weekend at a sewing retreat of all things, which was absolutely wonderful and so amazing. And there were 30 women all in the room with our sewing machines, making all our own individual projects, getting things done. And do you know how many YouTube conversations I had? Out of those 30 women, 5 of them have YouTube channels. I had no idea. I thought I was going away for just to chill, relax, stop thinking about everything, make yourself the overnight bag that you want to make. And I ended up talking YouTube strategy, thumbnails, promotions, and where to find, just the conversations were crazy and amazing. And unexpected is probably the biggest word of it. It was unexpected. And at what stage I remember I'd sat down and I'd talked to one lady because, these were all people I didn't know. I knew one person who I went with. We shared a car and we went up. Ended up catching up a little bit with Justin Brown for just a couple of minutes because he came to my rescue for something that I'd forgotten or that I didn't know I needed. And so that was super cool because the retreat was up on the Sunshine Coast in a beautiful recreation center. And it was just this insane, insane weekend because, you do, when you're meeting new people and it's like, oh, what do you do? What's your day job? Or, are you retired or whatever it is? All these sorts of questions that people have. I was like, oh, I work with, on YouTube and I've got my own channels and I work with a couple of YouTube educators and, you try to just sort of move the because we're sewing. And then, because if you've got a YouTube channel and you're trying to learn things about it, the second someone hears that, they're like, oh, really? So I had a conversation with one lady, we were sitting opposite each other over dinner. And then by the time I got back to the workroom, another lady came around and said, such and such said that you do stuff with YouTube. Can I, pick your brains? And it was just these fantastic and wonderful conversations. And all of these women were all so positive about YouTube, so positive about the impacts that it can have on their business, so positive about the impacts that it can have on their communities or was already having on their communities. And it was like, I went there for a reset and to do something a bit different. And the universe said, no, this is what we do. But you get to have a reset on how people look at it. Because so often when we're in the live streams of educators and things like that, and there's people in there just so negative about, what YouTube took away from them and what YouTube has done and, in the negative connotations. And just to see these 5 women who were just so positive. And what was really interesting is those 5 women didn't all know that each other had YouTube channels. So then they moved and they started sitting together and were having conversations. And some of them knew, some of them didn't know, but it was just such an insane day, just conversations that were being had that I was just blown away. I was absolutely blown away by the excitement levels. And it made me think again, not realize, but think again, how important our in-person conferences are, how important our in-person get-togethers are. Everyone's like, oh, it's a digital age. We can do everything remotely now. And the answer is yes, we can. But should we? Or do we have to? And having these in-person conversations and realizations is just so important. As humans, as human species, being able to having the option of digital, virtual versus in person, having both is awesome because sometimes there's just no way for you to get to that event or no way for it to happen, sort of thing. For whatever circumstances, whether it's geography or financial or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're having the virtual tickets and virtual parts are still supremely important. Hello, live streaming. but also remembering that it's not a replacement for the in-person events. It's not. And so if you've got the opportunity to go and do something in person, whether it's with YouTube or in your niche or in your hobby or whatever it is, the rejuvenation and regeneration of impact is intense. It's so good. I wasn't sure if I would live stream, so I'm very tired. I don't sleep well at these events, and so I've sort of come home and crashed and woken up this morning like, oh man, I could just sleep for another 5 hours. But I decided, no, I'm going to get up. I'm going to come and chat with you guys because this was just the strangest thing. I wasn't actually in Brisbane. I was on the Sunshine Coast, which is a couple of hours north, which is like a low-key, chill, seaside sort of area. So live stream consultants, good morning. It's great to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Doug Hewson is here. So good to see you, Doug. Push the buttons makes it. Why is it doing that so hard today? I'm just going to change the angle a bit. Sometimes if I just move the camera, it stops its shenanigans. Oh, we lost the intro audio. Oh, did you? Oh, that's weird. Strange places like that. Yes, YouTube does seem to follow. And it's one of those things, it's one of those things that you don't realize until it happens. You just don't. Wow, that was weird. I unplugged my headset and lost all audio till I plugged it back in. Okay, well, I'm glad you got the audio back. Oh my gosh. The real YouTube was the friends we made along the way. Yeah. Hey, John, I'm an introvert, not an extrovert. Going to these events is hard work, which is why when I get home, I crash so hard because because also it's share accommodation. So I don't even get to go back to my room and just chill. Now, Deb, who was my friend who I went with, she is awesome. But it's still not a lone sit down time refreshing. I get home and my family know, and it's awful for them because I got home at like 3 o'clock yesterday and just sat there just like a zombie for hours, just trying to rehuman. So totally not an extrovert. But as an introvert, in-person events are still important. Yeah, the focus hunting was doing my head in. So sometimes this particular camera, I don't know why, but if I just angle it slightly different, it stops doing it. And I must have just bumped it or something, or I just needed to give it its weekly move. I don't know. Let's have a look here. It helps with those that want to go to something that is 8,000 miles away. They can watch it live anytime. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Look, just to bring that into, like, I think we're talking VidSummit here. I'm assuming we're talking VidSummit. If you can attend VidSummit, I highly recommend it. Getting the digital pass to the virtual events, so the live the access to the live feeds, that's one thing, and that's good if you can't do anything else. But if you can make it to the event, you get all those replays anyway, and you can watch them when you get home. But you get to walk around and have conversations with people on the same path as you, or at least a very similar path as you, people on the same journey who they're all going through the same things. You get to talk with creators who've been through it, and this is how they did it. And it's just a really, like, I've only been there once, and I went with for work. So I was there with a different agenda. So I got to watch lots of the conversations. Now in my off time, I got to hang out with you guys, and I loved that so much. Being able to sit and chat and realize how tall you all are. Like, that's awful, by the way. And 5'3" and you're all over 6 feet. It's like, what's going on? Why is everyone on YouTube so damn tall except for me? And so, just having these conversations with people in real life is just very different. It's very different. Now, I'm not going to lie, VidSummit really, even though I was there for work and I was sort of behind a table and things like that, I still went back to my room each night. Luckily, it was my own room. I know I just sort of sat there like a zombie for an hour or two before I went to bed to try and get the energy back for the next day. And that worked really well for me. It was enough. It was enough to keep me going. And I would I would hands down do it again. Like, no doubt, hands down do it again. It is worth it. It is worth every cent. It is worth the time. 20 hours on a plane. It is worth going through security. It is worth going to a town or a country you've never been before. I was very scared. I'd never flown that long. I'd never flown that far. I'd never been to another country other than New Zealand. Well, actually, I went on a cruise. Let me think. Namibia is technically France, right? So technically, but so other than like a cruise back, like when Abby was 4, this is the only, and New Zealand when Abby was in grade, I don't know, 10 years ago easily, at least for New Zealand, the last time I went. Other than that, I've actually never traveled internationally. And it was so daunting, and I was so nervous, and I was so worried about getting lost and doing the wrong things and saying the wrong things. Because, like while both Australia and America are English speaking, we do have different nuances on things, which we converse about sometimes here as well. So yeah, it's very, very different to doing it virtually, where you just sort of sit here with your feet up and very comfortable, I might add, and just watch rather than interact. Tacos help with that. Oh my gosh. Seriously, if you guys go to Vid Summit, you have to go over to, what's the restaurant at Texican called? The restaurant at the Texican Hotel, whatever that's called. When I was there, they had pulled beef tacos. Pulled beef? I think it was pulled beef. They were the most amazing things I've ever eaten. I was just blown. Well, most amazing tacos I'd ever eaten for sure. Australian tacos are not, it's not our strong suit, okay? But yeah, definitely worth going and get those. Livestream consultant says almost everyone I talked to was on the same path. Very few were significantly way advanced. Philip says, happy after midnight. Have a good day. Bye. Sorry, Philip. Have a good day. Have a good sleep. But yeah, so, it's one of these things where being able to attend in person is a different experience. Being able to attend, let's have a look here. Has the reverse ever happened? Have you gone to Vid Summit and everyone was talking about their sewing machines? I might have been not in those sewing machine rooms at Vid Summit. I've definitely been to like sort of tech or social media events and ended up talking yarn craft a lot. Maybe not necessarily sewing, but like yarn craft. I mean, that's happened. But, and I probably was just as surprised because you forget that sometimes that people have like other things, right? So you go to like YouTube expecting everyone just to talk YouTube and forgetting that all of us have our own niches within YouTube. And so, it's one of those things where you just like, it's like, oh yeah, YouTube is like this blanket statement. However, how many niches are there? How many sub niches are there? How many like niche down to the niched are there? Like people on YouTube usually have a couple of passions. One of them is YouTube. One of them is whatever their niche is. And having them converge is a very interesting experience. Yeah, it must have been one of those workshop rooms and I just totally missed it because I missed all the workshop rooms while I was there. Livestream consultant says, I've only been to Canada, Bahamas and Mexico. Funny part, it feels more like another country just going from Southwest USA to East Coast USA. And they talk funny too. Hey, I've got a question for you guys. Is the pinned comment for you at the bottom of the chat or at the top of the chat? Because I've been noticing that's happening a lot more lately. I'm seeing it at the bottom of the chat for me. It does. Two Mules Cantina. That does sound vaguely familiar. I always just think of it as the restaurant at the Texican. But yeah, I think it was Two Mules. Yeah. Thank you for looking that up. I appreciate it. So it's at the bottom of the chat for live streaming consultants. YouTube thinks you're probably talking about something else. Live streaming consultant says it's bottom for them as well. Okay, so maybe that's rolled out now. What do you think? I think for me, I don't really care that much. Like I don't have I'm just used to looking for it at the top, and I'll readjust to looking for it at the bottom. But yeah, I mean, it's just a change of location, but I just keep looking for it at the top. I'll adjust. I don't see it as a good or bad thing. I don't understand why they've gone to the effort to move it. There'd be a reason for it. Maybe if it's at the top, people don't look for new comments at the top. So people will see your pinned comment more readily if it's right at the bottom, right next to where they're typing. That's probably the thinking behind it. Yeah, John, I'm the same. I don't really have any strong feelings one way or another about this one. It's just I've just got to keep just remembering it's at the bottom. That's all. Live streaming consultant says he likes it better at the top for himself because we look for the newest comments at the bottom. Yeah, and I think that might be why they've moved it to the bottom, because then the newest comment is always coming out of the pinned comment kind of thing. And so you're always seeing the pinned comment, which means that whatever you put in there, people are more likely to see. So that could be the reasoning behind it. I don't know what YouTube's thinking is on pretty much any of their decisions. One thing that did happen, and I think I may have mentioned it last week, was that after Doug's live stream, when we were talking about that the live translation that only shows up for the stream in the streamer's feed, and I posted it, and the head of live streaming replied back, so that was pretty cool. So looking into making that more available to everyone. There's no timeline, there's no promises, nothing like that, but just like hey, yeah, we see that that's a good idea. So that's I mean, I take that as a positive. I don't know about you. Learn live streaming says, I've been invited to something later in the year that's a 5-hour drive away, and I really don't like leaving my house at the best of times. I understand. I do. And a 5-hour driveway means that you need accommodation as well. So, because that's not a day trip turnaround for me. That's like, I've got if an event is one day and it's 2 hours away, I will do the turnaround. But if it's 2 days, I will stay overnight. I'm not doing that backwards and forwards, like the cost of fuel, the energy that it takes. But 5 hours away, that's most definitely at least like one night's accommodation, depending on what time you're supposed to be there. Like if you need to be there at like 9 a.m, you need to drive the day before and stay that night. And then if it's all day, are you going to have the energy to drive home after it, or do you need another night's accommodation? Like 5 hours is a lot of concentration time, especially if you're the solo driver and it's not like a group effort. Have you pinned a comment? I have pinned a comment. I've got my buy me a coffee down there. John says, I forgot about the price of petrol. It's actually not too, I don't know about in Sydney, but it's actually not too bad up here right now. But like, it's still expensive. Like fuel's always expensive, whether it's, Strait of Hormuz, nightmares or whatever, doesn't matter. But yeah, it's definitely, it's just a pricey thing that you have to put into account. And like, do you have the kind of vehicle that you can actually just sleep in your car, or do you need to, what are you going to do? Like you've got to make decisions about this stuff. That's an easy drive compared to getting to Vid Summit. That's a 10.5-hour drive one way from where I'm at. Luckily, you stay there for a couple of days so that you can get there. Doug could not see the pinned comment. Were you on your laptop, Doug? That is odd. You see it on the iPad, but not on whatever other option you had. I'm on desktop with my secondary monitor, and I can see it on that. But yeah, no, it's interesting when they play with the views of things. There's a limited review test that's going on at the moment where YouTube are putting, like, so you know how if you put not titles, if you put links to videos in your description, so you've got links to other videos on your channel in your description, they're running a test where it's actually like a little, you get the thumbnail, a little bit of the description. It's like a little tile, which looks fantastic. I have to say, I really do hope that test is going well and they decide to run with that. I think it makes the description look a lot more interesting. So yeah, okay. So you're on your laptop with a split screen chat. Huh, interesting. So you popped out the chat. So when you popped it out, you didn't see the pinned comment. That's interesting. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't think we should lose the pinned comment if the chat's popped out. Have you seen the watch page sidebar? I have not. What can I click to see that, Doug? Because I was away this weekend, I have not caught any. I didn't catch Doug's stream. I didn't catch Nick's stream. I was busy sewing. I mean, I can show you what I made if you want to see it. I do have it handy. It's in this room. But yeah, so you know, it's definitely it's definitely one of those things. John says, I still see the pinned comment on the Windows Chrome when I pop out the chat. Thank you for doing that and telling me. Okay, so if you're in Windows and on Chrome, when you pop out, the pinned comment is still there. It's very curious. It's one thing if it's at the top or the bottom, and it depends on the surface that you're watching on. That's another thing. Doug says that going back to the normal watch page in the chat, and it's there. Have you seen the watch page sidebar? I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't know what that is. I do feel like I missed 1 week of YouTube news with Doug, and I feel like now I'm behind. I really do. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I haven't sat down and done any of my usual reading that I would do on a Monday morning either, because I was tired and I was still deciding if I was even gonna, do anything else. Oh, Doug says he's popped it out and it's still there. Okay. All right. Maybe it was a little bit of a glitch, because they happen. They happen. And usually at the most infuriating or frustrating time. I was live streaming this week over on the Fiverific channel, and this camera just randomly turned itself off. Like after an hour and a half, it's just, no. And the chat were just like, because in the old days, I used to stream with a camera that turned off every 30 seconds. And so it was like face cam and everyone. And then when I fixed it up, everyone in the chat was like, oh my gosh, that was so nostalgic. Yeah, back to the split screen and it's there. The glitchy glitch is indeed the technical term. I believe it is. Yeah, I think that is the correct usage of that term. I could be wrong. It has happened. But it may not be. So yeah. So it's very interesting to me how I could go to a sewing retreat and end up talking YouTube. Now, one of the things is I'm excessively passionate about YouTube, and it is my daily, it's my daily conversations. So that's probably a big part of it, because it's a huge part of my life. And I was taking a step back from that to go and do something else. And I think that's why it hit me so hard in the face. It was just like, yep, you're not escaping. You're here now. John says, I work with some developers who also reference a glitch in time and space. Yep, that also works. I may have described some work I needed to do as jiggery pokery to a colleague last week. Let me just do some jiggery pokery on that, and I'll get back to you. I don't know how they took it. They're American. English people would probably get it better. Maybe not American people. I don't know. So, but yeah, it's been just a full-on weekend where I peopled very hard. I'm very drained today, so I'm very sorry if I'm a bit flat and a bit not quite, my usual self. But yeah, it's just been mind-boggling. It's just been mind-boggling. The impact that YouTube has on so many kinds of businesses. Like, you wouldn't think that a woman who sells handbags would have much use for YouTube, but she does. And it's phenomenal to see what she's doing. So, it's one of those things where, I don't know why that just popped up there. That's weird. Stop doing crazy things, okay? I know I didn't touch you for 2 days, computer, but like, I'm here now, all right? You don't have to run all sorts of random stuff. Livestream consultant says we call it a glitch in the matrix. Yeah, like the deja vu glitch. So that's always a good one too. Like, whenever I experience deja vu, I call that a glitch in the matrix now. But yeah, it's like, have you yourselves ever had an instance where you were doing something else or doing something totally different, not really thinking about YouTube in any shape, fashion, or form, and then ending up having YouTube style conversations? I'm very curious to know if it is just me. I'm a little obsessive, so could be. So let me think, what else has been going on? Yeah. Lots of just working stuff and just trying to, after I got, because I'm like, how do I put this? After I got back from taking time off streaming from being sick, I'm still on lots of extra asthma medication. So that's still affecting me, which is just awesome. It's great that I can breathe. Let's not discount that. I'm actually like starting to be able to laugh again, because whenever I laughed, I would start coughing, and then, it's the whole, and so being able to laugh again and just like not have to like, okay, this person's trying to be funny, just hold it together and try not to, just smile, don't laugh. But yeah, so being able to laugh again has been really, really probably very good for my brain. And just like the energy levels aren't quite back yet, but everything's improving, and day on day on day and day. And I'm so happy for that. Yeah, your breathing is recommended. Yeah, as a species, I believe we need it. Yeah. Live streaming consultant says my OBS did that on Saturday morning. I just put stuff wherever I wanted it, and wherever I wanted it, and then fought me when I tried to put it back. I had to threaten it with Chantelle's banhammer. Well, I'm glad that the threats of Chantelle's banhammer made your computer do what it was supposed to do. Unfortunately, mine knows that it's all bluff and that I wouldn't hit it with a hammer. I bet everyone at the sewing event had breathing in common. Yes, we did. But you know what's actually really interesting? Like, you put 30 people in a room with a common interest and a common goal and why you're there, and seeing what 30 different people created with those same hours was just insane. Because at this particular event, it wasn't like one of those things where you go and everyone does the same thing while you're there. It wasn't like workshops or anything like that. It was just a like a space. It actually really reminded me of my fiberific retreat that I run every year, where I create a space for my community to actually physically come and for them to be together for the weekend, and they can all do whatever crafting that they want to do. Everyone gets a 6-foot table and you just get to sit there and work on whatever projects you're working on. We've had people painting like little figurines for Warhammer, and spinning and weaving and knitting and crocheting, tons of knitting and crocheting, and spindle spinning and hand stitching and sewing, like all sorts of stuff that they do just as craft and the conversation that just constantly hums through the room. And so that's how my retreats work. And this was very, very similar. And I'm used to other retreats being like, we're going to do this at this time, and this at this time, and this and this time. And sometimes that structure is good because you're there to learn a skill or learn a technique or learn how to make a particular bag or whatever it is. Um, but but in these instances where it's just like, oh no, here is a table and some power, bring your sewing machine and your gear and make whatever it is that you're going to make. You just happen to be in a room with 29 other people. And I think that's sort of it was sort of like a real analogy of YouTube. If you sat 30 YouTube creators down in a room, while they have YouTube, aka the sewing machine, in common, what they're putting into it and what they're getting out of it are totally different. You know, whether it's the time that they put into it, the the effort and thought before it goes into the YouTube machine. It was a really bizarre like light bulb for me. I never expected it a sewing retreat of all things. It just felt so weird. It really was very, very like, I don't know. Everyone was so talented, and everyone in their particular styles of what they're using, very talented. And I'm a beginner, so I felt very, overwhelmed by like someone's just basically just thrown some stuff and then pulled out this incredible handbag that I would have paid $200 for at, like over at my brain won't even give me the name of it. Zing, beautiful pop culture bag. And it legit looks like I bought one. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, that's so cute. You've made that with love kind of thing. No. It's legit like I bought one. And just having, it's just the most bizarre thing. John says here, how you use the tools and what you get out of them will vary. Because that's the thing, what you put into it and what you get out of it totally varies. And that's exactly the same with YouTube. What you put into it and what you get out of it will vary from creator to creator, niche to niche. And the biggest stealer of joy I see for most creators, and possibly not you guys, but the biggest stealer of joy that I see is people comparing themselves to other channels. And they're like, their inability to understand that actually each of us are on an individual journey, that we all just happen to be utilizing the same tools or similar tools on one platform. And so trying to get people to run their own race, compare their wins to their next wins to their next wins. Like, yes, look at what your competition are doing to win and learn from that and understand it from an analytical perspective, but not in your heart. And don't take it to like, I'm a failure because of. Putting that negativeness on yourself. Like, I don't know about you, but the second I'm in like a really negative like headspace, all creativity is just whoosh, out the window. So yeah, it's one of those things where you just like comparing yourself to other channels, even if they are in your niche, but comparing in a manner that's like, well, why are they succeeding? It's not fair, rather than, oh, what are they doing differently? What can I learn? Having those different mindsets about the people around us is totally different. Next time you're going to have to bring Doug along to help with the YouTube. I think I did okay with just a few people, but I think what needs to happen is Doug and I need to run an event or a learning day in Australia somewhere. And this is why I think you're doing it wrong advice is kind of trite. Look, there are certain things that are just, oh, my stream just dropped out. Sorry if you are getting jiggery pokery. I just saw it on my end as well. I think, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it's being a butt face. But, I don't know if because there's definitely some wrong advice out there. Like, let's just be straight up honest. There are people out there giving wrong advice, and there are people doing things the wrong way. But it depends on what you're talking about. It really does. It depends on what it is that you're talking about, because sometimes the process is incorrect. You know, like there's a lot of people right now using AI thumbnails, and they're not getting in them in the correct aspect ratio. That's a strict right and wrong issue, right? It's not a subject up for debate. They do not have a 16:9 image. It is either being chopped or stretched or whatever. It is bad. It is incorrect, and it needs to be remedied, right? And that'd be no different than if they just used like a square image that they made on Photoshop themselves. That's a right or wrong thing. But there's different right and wrongs for different niches. There's different right and wrongs for how different people run their businesses. Usually people understand, like, especially if their channel is part of a greater business, hopefully, I want to say hopefully, people understand who their audience is. And hopefully they're making the content correctly for that audience. But sometimes there is just straight up right and wrong, but also sometimes there's not. I think it depends on what we're talking about. I hate the whole it depends thing. It makes me think of Shelley Nathan every time when someone asks her advice on something and she's like, well, actually, it depends. And she's so right. It does depend. It depends on what kind of content we're talking about, what kind of particular issue we're talking about. It totally depends. It totally depends. I'm also fascinated when people manage to break the aspect ratio of images, especially screenshots. Like how? Oh, look, one of the things is monitors come in so many sizes now, right? Not all monitors are 16:9. Let's just get that out of the gate straight away. That not all monitors are 16:9. And so if you have a monitor that's not 16:9 and you do a screenshot, that's a full screen screenshot, the aspect ratio is going to be janked up if you're using it on YouTube because it is 16:9. So I actually consciously made the decision that my second monitor is a different size than my first monitor, because I wanted to make sure I had a 16:9 monitor for screenshots and screen recordings specifically. So that even if all the others I have are all different sizes, whatever, it doesn't matter. I have one that will do that job. And so this is my screenshot monitor over here. It's like a 20, I don't know, I think it's a 24-inch or 23-inch Samsung jobby, but it's the right thing. So yeah, but yeah, like there's some, come back up. There are some, like, yeah, there are some things sometimes where you look at it and you're like, did you look at that before you hit send, or did the system do something to it after you hit send? Because that's definitely happened to me, where I've hit send on something and then it's like, that is not what I thought I posted, and quickly pull it down. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting, definitely an interesting one, because like YouTube's so, like, there's no secret anywhere around the aspect ratio. They are 16:9. 16:9. That's it. That's the aspect ratio. If you put anything on YouTube, it's either 16:9 or 9:16 for vertical versus horizontal. That is your choices. There's no slightly wider or no. If you don't want black bars appearing around things, they're your choices. So yeah, I'm just like, oh, like if you're making a cinematic release and you've got the 4:3 and, you know, that's fine. Do whatever you want. But the 16:9 is for YouTube. Oh, Doug, you're right. I forgot about the community posts. They are 1-to-1s. You're right. They're squares. I'm sorry. You are right. I forgot about community posts because I quite often forget about community posts. I'm that awful person who forgets that community posts exist, and then still go and enjoy doing everyone's surveys and polls. But on my channels, I forget they exist. So, yeah, you're right. So we've got 16:9, 9:16, and 1-to-1. Okay, so we have 3, all right? And then YouTube's like, actually, we're going to be testing this other thing. Yeah, the square community posts are annoying. I always have to design them and never use them elsewhere. You can use them on Instagram. You can use them on Instagram. Oh, I know, Doug. This is the thing. I know how important the community posts are and how they're surfacing now, and they're so much better. And I mentally get that, and I do understand. And I tell people all the time, like, don't forget your community post. When was your last community post? Oh, that's too long ago. Don't look at my channel. I think my last community post just said I wasn't live streaming. It wasn't even interesting. I actually went through and deleted a whole pile that were all just not live streaming posts between both the channels. But yeah, like, don't be me. Don't sleep on those. Livestream consultant says, I have two Walmart 20-inch monitors that are not 16 by 9 or 1920 by 1080 or 1280 by 720. It's something in between. Weird. It's pretty common. There's a lot of monitors out there that are not the 16 by 9 ratio. And then when people do screenshots or screen recordings to use in their YouTube videos, they're always like, what's going on with this? It just doesn't fit right. And it is literally when you do a screenshot or a screen recording, if you're doing the whole screen, so unless, you've cropped it down or whatever, and then that's a whole other set of issues. But if you've done the whole screen and your screen, your actual physical monitor is not 16 by 9, the footage you get will not be 16 by 9. You will need to edit that footage into the correct ratio, which may or may not be problematic. So my piece of advice is next time you need to update a monitor, just make sure you've got one of them that is 16 by 9 if you are a screenshot or screen recording kind of person. Not everyone is. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting dilemma because, it's not really something you're thinking, like most people aren't thinking about when they're going shopping for their monitors. There's resolutions and bit rates and how bright the lighting is. What's that called? I can't remember. There's like an acronym, and it's like it's not LUTs, it's nits. It's nits. The nits of the brightness. So if it's good for your eyes long term, if it's matte, if it's shiny, if there's so many different things to look into when you're looking to buy your monitor. A lot of people forget to check if it's a 16 by 9 monitor because it's just not really in the forefront of your mind. But if you are somebody who is creating full screenshots or screen recordings for, say, walkthroughs and things like that, and you're having it as the full screen, like if you're zooming in all the time, that's less of an issue. You can edit around that. But if you're doing like the full screen for a lot and then maybe zooming in here and there, you do need the 16 by 9s for that. So, I mean, they are there. There's plenty of them around. They're not even just the big brands. There's cheapy ones too. You just have to sort of just like check it and just go, is that one? My biggest thing was my 32-inch curved that I've got, when I bought it, I did not consider one very important factor. And at the time, it wasn't actually an issue, which was it doesn't have VESA mount. I don't understand why there are monitors out there that don't have VESA mount options. Now it does. Now if I went out to replace it, it does have a VESA mount option. I was just very, very lucky that it was a pretty popular model, and that some very clever person in Eastern Europe somewhere built these solid rock, basically solid rock adapters that go in where the because it was a middle mount thing, and it locks into there, and that they created that investment. And like their imagery, like the videos that they did, was they actually screwed it to a pole and used it to climb up the poles and would stand there and just bounce on it. And so you're like, okay, it can handle it. So I've had this chunk of plastic attached to the back of my monitor, my 32-inch curved monitor, and had it on a VESA mount now for a couple of years, and it's still going solid. The issue I'm having is actually the VESA mount. It's not the every now and again it loses its tightness and the whole monitor just goes poof. And that's how my keyboard got smashed, was my monitor. Oh no, that was different. That was actually the whole vest mount just came off the back of the table and the whole thing just went into my keyboard. Monitor didn't break, keyboard broke. So now I have this keyboard, my first mechanical. Still adjusting. What I'm adjusting to is I'm used to having a number pad. That's the thing. Like, I know I don't have one on my laptop, and so I thought I'd cope. And for the most part, I'm okay. But every now and again, I'm just like, I kept realizing I was hitting the arrow keys because I thought I was hitting a number. No, so a friend has lent me a separate number pad as well. So I think I'm going to buy one. I've realized how much I'm using the extra number pad now. But I got my little keyboard at such a discount and such a deal that I do the keys click loudly. All right, I'm going to type something in the chat right now and I'll stop talking. I got the, what are they called? MX Cherry Silent Reds. So no mechanical keyboard is entirely silent, but it's a bit quieter. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to type. There you go. So let me know. That's actually a really good way. Like, because I know some of you are in headphones, some of you are not. This was just my keyboard in its normal position. Not too loud. Okay, that's good. Yeah, look, I love the idea of mechanical keyboards, but that whole clickety does kind of do my head in. This I've had to adjust to because it is definitely louder than the MX Keys flatline that I've been using for years. You know, so it was definitely an adjustment, but I actually like it. And I think I would buy another, but I think if I did buy another one down the track, I would want it to be the full size with a number pad. But this one I got on such a ridiculous deal. I think it was it was 250 reduced down to 89. And I wouldn't have spent 250 on I don't know if I like it, but my MX Keys is 230. So to replace that, I was already looking at 230. So I thought, I'll give it a bell. And one thing I did do, straight up, because this was a Ducky Doom special keyboard. So all of the keys were like Doom sort of things. Hang on a second. So I don't know if you can see in here, but see how it's all kind of like character imagery keys, and they had all the letters were printed on the fronts rather than on the tops. They're super cute and everything, but for another $9, I picked up different keycaps. Oops, that goes in there. So I have got my custom keycaps. It's actually a mix and match of two sets. So the $9 set was this set, the purpley set. And then for another, I think $14, I got a grey and teal set. So I've got enough keys between these two sets to do a whole nother keyboard the opposite way. So yeah, so I got to have it how I want it. It's also like, the camera's off, otherwise I'd just show you. But basically, like when I type something, I can, see how the keys light up, and I can change I can change that as well. But it is wired as well, which is something I had to readjust to. Let me just get rid of whatever it was that I just typed into the chat there. Delete. But yeah, so it's been a fun foray into a world that I know some people are very passionate about. There is entire YouTube channels, there's an entire subculture of keyboard people that I didn't know existed. Like, I knew that there were people out there who did their mechanical keyboards and they like the clicky and the thocky and the clacky, and I didn't understand what any of that meant. Now I do. Now I do understand what it all means. Um, so yeah, it's just it's a bit different, and I'm enjoying it. So one thing I will say is most of these mechanical keyboards are targeted at Windows users. So they all have Windows keys and no command keys. So hence why I've got just one of the Doom keys still here, and I'm just using that one as a command key. Oh, and like I was able to remap it because the Windows key was where the Alt key was, and so I was able to actually switch those two in the software because I'm used to the command key being next to the spacebar. So yeah, so you're able to remap a few things as well. Like this particular brand Ducky, their stuff was pretty user friendly. I had a friend who was very helpful for me because she's a big Ducky fan as well. So yeah, it was I had guidance, which was great. And she had like this little, it looked like a little mini, like it just had like a pile of keys on it. But what it was each one had a different, like, silent red, silent black, brown, cherry, pink, all the different sort of mechanisms so you could hear the differences. Some of them I couldn't tell the difference between, let's be honest. My ear is not quite as attuned as people who are very passionate about the space. But I just I'm like, whatever's the quietest, like seriously, what's the quietest? But now there's stuff that's coming out that's a bit quieter again. So by the time I'm ready to replace this guy or want to change it up and have two, that's probably more where I'm leaning, and get the full size keyboard with the number pad, then there might be another option to go a little quieter. Loud mechanical keyboard noise gives me flashbacks to the early 1980s and the Commodore 64 days. John says, I actually have a Commodore 64 style mechanical keyboard, but I haven't even opened the box yet. You should totally have a play. You should. I mean, it might be too clickety clackety for you, but you won't know unless you have a play, right? Like this is one of the things, like we can talk about lighting, we can talk about monitors, we can talk about cameras, but little things like your keyboard, like we know that this keyboard can be heard with this microphone. And what is your audience like? If you're using your keyboard during your live streams, is it enjoyable for them to be able to either hear or not hear your keyboard? There'll be some people who will just be like, yes, the silence of an MX keys, because I love my MX keys. I am not anti MX keys. I just really didn't want to spend $230 is what it came down to. And so, that's really what I was like, okay, what can I do that would not cost $230? So I spent $100 instead. And so yeah, it was like, all right, that feels a bit better. That feels a bit better. That's cool, John. We were all spoiled to the early days in the cassette drive for storage. Oh my gosh, I remember playing games back in the day, because I too am old. Cassette games where you had to rewind the game, rewind the tape to restart the game. And then you had to like pop that tape out and put the next tape in to get the game going again. But yeah, I remember those days. You got it to team up for a Commodore 64 emulator contraption. Nice. So you can have like the whole feel. So it's not just a keyboard that you just can chuck into your Mac. Oh, not your Mac. You're a Windows boy, to chuck into your computer, but you've got it for the emulator. So that's cool. Is it a USB style plug, or is it like the old round plugs? Like that. That'd be cool to know as well. You still have your Commodore 64 and original floppies, including one full of the basic programs that I wrote as a kid in storage. Oh my gosh. I actually never had a Commodore 64, but they looked very cool. They looked very, very cool. Oh yeah, it is USB connect. Oh, that's good. So you can use it for like a pile of stuff if you like it. And you know what? No shade if you don't. Like seriously. Everyone likes different things when it comes to their gear. And you've got to use what's comfortable. But like you've got a backup keyboard now. But are you like? Let me just think. I thought from the top of my mind, didn't you like a really super ergonomic keyboard? Is that because like I thought it might be someone else. It might be someone else I'm thinking of. But yeah. But like YouTube creator events, no different when people are passionate about their stuff. They've got cool tips, tricks, and tools that are like their go-tos for things. I may have a shopping list after my retreat of some very, very cool tools that will help me with my sewing journey. I'm buying a projector for patterns, like just to sit it up there to project down so I don't have to. Believe it or not, okay, in this day and age, if you want to buy a digital sewing pattern, right? Like you ready for this? If you want to buy a pattern that would normally say at Spotlight or somewhere that you would buy full patterns from that would normally be on the big piece of paper, if you want to buy that as digital, you can print it out on A4. And you know, there's a little guide box to make sure you're printing it out in the correct size so you don't accidentally print it all out shrunken down or something or expand it out. Then you have to cut it out and sticky tape it all together to make the thing. And sometimes that can take as long as it would have taken to sew the thing, just sticky taping all the pattern pieces together. So yes, definitely one of those things. Let me just look at something here. Is that the robot voice that you're talking about? I don't know. Maybe. Can we say Electro Voice RE20? Oh no, that's the microphone you like. And you do like the ergonomic keyboard. Yeah, I thought that was you. I do like the Logitech Wave keyboards for everyday typing. Yeah. Yeah. I obviously do not use the effects on my, like, I'm like the least utilizing person of my Rodecaster. Like, I've got it set up so that it's really good for you know, my different microphones. And if I'm listening to moderations or listening to videos while moderating and chatting with like Doug during those calls, I've got it, you know, for video calls and things like that. That's all good. That's it. Like poor live stream consultant sent me a really cool coffee soundtrack to use every time someone buys me a coffee. And when someone buys me a coffee, I forget to hit it, and I have it all so that it's the one lit up button. Like if you looked at it is the one lit up button. All I have to do is just mash that one button, and I always forget. I just don't utilize the pads on my thing anywhere near. What's the one piece of gear that you have that you do not utilize enough? I would like to not be alone right now in the fact that I underutilize something. It does what I want it to do very, very good. And I'm very happy with it. But I do sometimes think that I don't utilize it enough. I wonder if we could match up the sound effects with the chat commands. Look, I'm sure there's a way to do it. If I have the sound effects somewhere else, I'm pretty sure there is a way to do it. I can add the sound effects into Social Stream Ninja and then it would trigger them. I think that's a possibility. I need to dig in more. Doug probably knows more about this than I do, but I think that's possible. Oh yeah, Doug says SSN will do that. Yeah, because I thought I was reading something about that. But I haven't done it. And yeah, I'm just a bad friend is really what it boils down to. Yeah. Oh yes, agreed. The Stream Deck, it's so powerful and I barely get a fraction of the usage from it versus its capability. Me too. Right now, I'm having a love-hate relationship with my Stream Deck. I used to be able to change all my scenes in Ecamm with my Stream Deck, and there've been some changes, and I've done all the updates, but for whatever reason, my Stream Deck will no longer see that I have Ecamm open. It just keeps saying open Ecamm, open Ecamm, open Ecamm, and you're like, it is open, dude. So, you know, it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, oh, I just want you to work and I don't understand. There's probably something really simple that I just need to do to update it. And I've updated the Ecamm software in the app. I've updated the Stream Deck. And, you know, I'm just like, but when it comes to when I'm working for somebody else, I go in and create a Stream Deck page for them, and I just like so it's all easy. So when I'm doing Doug's stream, I've got all Doug's stuff together. When I'm doing Nick's stream, I've got all Nick's stuff together. When I'm doing Daryl's stream, all Daryl's stuff together, and like on and on for whoever I'm working for. If it's somebody that I work for regularly or somebody I'm being paid to work for, part of what I do is I set up a Stream Deck thing to make it easy when I'm moderating. So I've got their links, I've got the things I want to talk about. And it's all just right there. And so it's at the easy click of a button. But right now, it's my Stream Deck will not play with my Ecamm, and I'm very, very, very upset about it. Doug says, I have some set up with a GIF and audio. Oh, that's fun. I like that. I absolutely like that. Valentine Station. It's so good to see you. You are the replay gang. It's so, so good. It's so good. I love my Stream Deck, but if I had more time, I would rearrange things and set up different profiles instead of just pages. Absolutely, you should do that. Absolutely. Let me think. I reset all my lights on my Stream Deck the other week. There you go. I need to redo my lights because I have a problem with particular lights that I've got, that if they lose their power, like the actual mains power, like not if they're turned off or on, that I need to actually physically turn them on again on the backs of them. I'm very short. They're very far away. So that's an issue. And then they need to do that before I start trying to control them with the Stream Deck again. Andrew Can in the house. So good to see you as well, Andrew. The Stream Deck is amazing. And you're right, it isn't underutilized. We're talking right now, if you're just jumping in, we're talking about underutilized equipment that we have on our desks that we just don't use to their fullest potential and capability. For me, so far, it's my Rodecaster and now my Stream Deck as well. So now I'm like underutilizing lots of things because Stream Deck is totally an amazing piece of kit. Live stream, does it connect it all to Ecamm, or is it just scenes it's not connecting to? I would have to check, but I basically was only using it for changing scenes. So yeah, and yes, I have updated the Ecamm Stream Deck on my profile. I absolutely have. I've updated all of the things. Doug says, I updated all my Nim and live chat links during the show and said I need to go in and change some because he's changed some of his. And even the ones that are in the description are not the ones he's showing on screen for a couple of brands. So I'm like, I can't even get them out of the description. So I might have to hit you up for a list. In the plugin section, go to Ecamm, check it out that it's on the most up-to-date version. I will do that. I will do that because I did go in and do that a few weeks ago. Like I've been having this problem now for months. And I'm just like so over it that I'm back to just using my mouse to change scenes. Like that's how over it I am. But I will go and double check again that I do have the most up-to-date version again. I do believe I just updated it only a couple of weeks ago, but I will just double check because sometimes you just have to double check everything, right? John says, I love my Blackmagic speed edited keyboard for DaVinci Resolve, but I just need to record to more so I have more to edit. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Are you using the virtual Stream Deck at all? Yeah, I do on my laptop. I don't so much here, like on this setup. on this setup, I use the actual physical Stream Deck, or I also sometimes if I'm doing stuff like, because I use it for, I've got some forms I have to fill out for one of my clients. So when I'm filling out like copyright forms, there's like a lot of the same information like every time you fill out the form. So I've got my Stream Deck set up where it's just like dip, 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 and it just fills out all the, name, address, blah, 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 trademark number, all this, it fills all that out for me, like as I go through the forms. And I have that one set up on my iPad, because I've got the Stream Deck app for iOS. And so because it just means I can have more buttons and big buttons, so I can just be literally like going, rather than, I've only got a medium. I've got a medium Mark 1 Stream Deck is what I actually have here. Doug says, I need to set up the virtual Stream Deck on my laptop. Yeah, I only set it up on my laptop. So I don't have it set up on this one at all. John says, the virtual Stream Deck is a nice idea, but if I have a physical button, I don't really see the point of the button on the screen, which is why I set it up on my laptop, because sometimes I'm traveling or I'm away or whatever, and I've got to moderate a live stream while I'm not home, or I need to work. So I need access to all those buttons I was talking about. And so I have the virtual setup on my laptop so that I don't have to unplug my Stream Deck and take it away with me, because I only have the one physical Stream Deck. So I don't do a lot of remote working, but the other thing that I do, it's really sad, okay? All right, I know how sad this is going to sound, but my office here gets either really hot in summer or really cold in winter. I do have a fan and a heater. They do help, but I also have a living room with a super comfy couch and a footstool and a full double glass sliding door that lets all the beautiful sun in winter. Or it's heated, like with proper heating. It's not just a little fan heater, it's a proper heated room. So sometimes I go out there to work. If I don't need the screens, I'll have my laptop and I'll have the TV running the live stream. And if it's got to be quiet, I'll have headphones on the TV. And then I'm comfy on my couch. My stupid sore knee is propped up exactly in the perfect position it likes to be propped up in. And I'm warm, and I might even have a blanket. If it's cold, I might have a blanket. A bit harder to do all that here. Right now, it's like the temperature's slowly dropping in this room, but I do have my big super warm jumper behind me, so I can grab that if I get cold enough. If it's a problem of Ecamm versus Stream Deck software, you can make the Stream Deck change the scenes using hotkeys. Means you have to go in and assign all the scenes to hotkeys. Yeah. I know I can go in and manually do it, but right now I'm still just, giving it the evil eye and being like, I should just delete you, kind of like you should work or I'm going to delete you kind of threats between me and the computer. It's weird. I get it. Andrew says, I like the virtual Stream Deck for things that are more one-time use if I'm not at home. Yeah. Well, yeah. I like to use the virtual Stream Deck on my laptop, so I don't have to worry about dragging around another piece of kit. I have fallbacks for modding, Stream Deck buttons, canned reply apps. Yeah, so I'm using Create a Keyboard, the Stream Deck app. I also keep just the Apple Notes app. I've got one for each person with all their links in it, just in case everything fails. I've still got the links, except for you, Doug, because I just grab your document. But everyone else, because we build our own. You should move the office to the lounge room. I'm sure your family would love that. Yeah, I'm sure that'd go down like a lead balloon. Yeah. A touchscreen monitor can be an awesome addition for the visually challenged with the virtual Stream Deck on it. Yeah, I could see that. That would be useful. I've always been curious, like what year was it? I can't remember. I had a Surface Pro 4, right? Whatever year the Surface Pro 4 was out. And that's a touchscreen monitor. That thing was fantastic. I loved my Surface Pro for so long before it totally, like it hasn't even bricked itself. Abby's got it somewhere. Like it's still going. And I've often wondered why Mac don't have touchscreens. I'm sure there's probably a very good reason for it. But I don't know. I don't know why. sometimes that is enough. But it is an Ecamm problem, a Stream Deck problem, but is it an Ecamm problem, a Stream Deck problem, an operating system? Yeah. Look, it's just, it's just one of those things where I don't know what the problem is, but but it was ever since the Ecamm Live changed to just Ecamm. So when the app updated from Ecamm Live and became Ecamm, ever since then, I've had problems with the Stream Deck, and they've progressively gotten worse, and now it's just not working at all with Ecamm. Still works with everything else, just not Ecamm. I'm making a big deal out of something that's probably going to be like a 2-minute fix. I'm actually like this close to just deleting the whole profile and starting a new profile and just starting totally fresh and seeing if that makes a difference. But I'm going to update everything first because, I have asked Ecamm and they've said it's a picnic error. Well, they didn't say picnic error. I said picnic error. But yeah, so, and somebody else suggested I try a particular fix, and I tried that and it didn't fix anything for me, but it did for them, and I'm glad. Doug says he also has spreadsheets for some streams. Yeah, so some streamers are really amazing and actually set things up for their moderators. And that's a super special thing when that happens. Now, I've got my command list set up, but that's not specifically for moderators on this channel. My moderators on Fiberific have a list. Poor Doug here does not. And Andrew, they do not have a list here, which is it's my failing as the streamer. I should set that up. Do as I say, not as I do. Make sure you set up, documents for your mods to be able to have access to all of your current links, so that when you talk about something, they can actually do what you want them to do. So yes, it's definitely something that we should all be doing, and I'm not doing it on this channel. I do it over on my other channel. John says, I had a touchscreen laptop and I would forget it was touchscreen, and every now and again I would actually bump it and go, whoa, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's an excellent point. We can't sell you an iPad if you have a touchscreen. That's actually really valid. That's really valid. A new feature request would be GIFs and images in the chat. Is that actually a feature request? I don't know how I feel about that, because maybe approved GIFs and images in the chat, because sometimes it could be very bad. That could be a very, very bad thing. Like, you think about the trolls and what they would do if they could put in whatever GIF or image in a chat. I think that if you could have a list of approved, like, how we have, like, if you go into my list, there's basically my list of approved GIFs and images. I don't know if any of them are working today. Have we tested any of them? That's like the approved list for me. If I could let you guys just put them into the chat when you wanted to use them, that would be very cool. So yeah. Teaching me as a streamer on things I have to list. Teaching me as a streamer on things to have a list for my stuff. Yeah, have a list of all your your links, your I feel really bad. I don't have a water bottle in here today. Having all your affiliate links, like if you're talking about Adobe, your Adobe affiliate link. If you're talking about Opus Clip, your Opus affiliate link, then that way your mods can. I knew Andrew was gonna get angry at me. I've been away for the whole weekend. I came in and my water bottle was still here, so I just took it to the kitchen and forgot to bring back a fresh one. Because I carried my coffee in instead and was like, oh, it's go time, and sat down and went. I knew Andrew was going to get upset. But yeah, so making sure that like your mods can do the best work they can possibly do for you, which is actually putting in your actual current links. So create some some short links, create some like cloak links, like, you know, KDCC Opus clip or whatever it is that you want your links to be. Make sure your mods have access to an updated list. Create a mod chat for your mods so that you can just be like, here you go, here's a link of like a link to my current list. You know, like these are things like Doug and I have been talking, like I saw Doug here talking about, where is it? The back chat. Here we go. A universal mod back channel. Yeah. Like we know Twitch has had it forever. We know it can be done. Absolutely. We know it can be done. So, oh no. Geez, don't tell Kelly I didn't bring my Yeti. She's going to yell at me. I'm in so much trouble in this stream. Thank you for whoever threw the Yeti, whoever did that. Leanne did. Thank you, Leanne, for at least Yeti gets a showing. But yeah, just making sure that your mods have got what they need. Someone on LinkedIn describes StreamYard as the Apple of live streaming, and I've been thinking about it all morning. Oh my gosh. Andrew says, I am yelling at you. I know. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh. I know I've complained about this before, but even putting random GIFs inside your stream, you haven't really licensed that stuff. It's a potential copyright issue. Look, it legitimately is. It legitimately is. Like you're 100% right. Using GIFs, like GIFs in themselves, whether they're popular or not, they are actually somebody else's intellectual property. It's always a risk. It's always a risk. But yeah, sorry, we were talking, I got sidetracked. We were talking about like the back chat for moderators. Twitch have been doing it since day dot. It can be done. I don't understand why YouTube are not making more tools for moderators. I was having a great conversation with somebody that I work with externally for some sort of live streaming. It's not so much YouTube stuff, it's other platforms. And we were talking about like some of the tools that other platforms have that we wish this platform had, because they got nothing. And it's basically, you know, remove them, which it's a paid platform, so that's problematic, or not. There's no other options. And I was just talking about some of the tools and features at the different things. YouTube has got a lot of great features with the timing out, with like blocking them from your channel, they're just removing the comment, you know, and these are instant decisions that you can make. Managing moderators can go in and change speeds. There's so many little tools and things, but there's so many gaps in the tools, right? Why don't we have a back channel for mods? Why aren't the mods able to see the translated chats? You know, like Doug and I have created like an entire list that we've given to YouTube of features and tools that we think that would make the life of a moderator a lot easier and create a more well-rounded and better better platform for the moderator for the community. So being able, like, moderators should really be able to come in and do their job without the community being like, oh, can somebody get rid of this person? Like, if they can't do that, they can't do it. Doug's saying here, which platforms even have mods for live streams? You know what? 100% right. The number of platforms that you have to give someone an admin seat so they can moderate your live chat, the level of trust that you have to give someone just so they can moderate a live chat is ridiculous. I want to know why more softwares are not making a moderator level within their software. Why someone has to be an admin to be able to moderate, I don't know. Leanne says, I do love our Fibrific cheat sheet. It's good, isn't it? It's very helpful. Doug has created this such cool thing where he doesn't have to look at the stupid mod shield crap that we hate. And he's turned it into tiny Thor hammers. Andrew says, I'd love to split a percentage of my super chats with my mods. Like the things like being able to make some individual decisions about what you do with your mods. I'd love to be able to give my moderators free channel membership permanently. Like while they're a moderator, they get to have the free channel membership. I would love to give that. You know, like it is just so frustrating. It's so frustrating being able to just like give them, like I moderate for channels where I pay for the privilege. Like, well, I don't pay for the privilege. I pay for channel membership. Now the channel membership is worth it every time. I would not pay for channel membership if it wasn't worth it. But I also think if you're a moderator, part of what you're doing, and this, like, let me know if you feel this, if you moderate for somebody, if you feel this, if you're moderating for somebody, you are standing up going, I agree, I wholly support this person or this channel. My name is right here. It's in the chat. I'm chatting with the community. I've got my little blueness and my little shield of pushing, you know, police shield, whatever it is. You have agreed, and this is the other thing, you don't even agree to be a moderator. You are made a moderator. But when you chat in a chat that you are a moderator in, you are publicly standing up saying that you support this person. And if I can afford to, I also support this person financially by being a channel member. Because you're showing that you support this person publicly. And I think mods should be able to do that without actually having to pay. Anyway, that's rant. Sorry, I'm sorry, because it does frustrate me. Like, how hard would it be for you to be able to go, hey, I would like to give this mod, this mod, this mod. They're already set up as moderators in your back end. They already have, like, there's already a delineation between them and standard chatters, right? How hard is it to be able to go, this person, this person, this person, they should get, like, you know, like, whether I pay for it out of my own pocket or whether YouTube let me give it to them for free, I should be able to do that. Because YouTube, like, does YouTube still give like 10 free channel memberships a month? Like that we're allowed to give away to people? Like I've never been able to use it for whatever reason, but do they even still do that? Because like I would use those 10 free ones. Well, I think I've got like 6 moderators. I'd use 6 of them for my moderators, like every month. Boom. I'd just be like, yes, there you go. And there was something else. My brain jumped onto something else. It was the back-end chat, being able to give the moderators free access to channel memberships. Oh, I would love to be able to remove myself as a moderator on other people's channels. People make me a moderator. I don't want to be a moderator for you for whatever reason. Might be personal beliefs, might be that you never discussed it with me, whatever reason. I don't want to be a moderator. I would like to have that ability to be able to see a list of all the channels that I've been made a moderator on and edit that list, like remove. Yeah, Andrew, I was going to call you and have a discussion about that. It's not you, Andrew. There's some other channels that I'm just like, I just very carefully don't chat in those chats. Like if I see the chats are there and I go and look, I'm just like very cautious and do not chat or chat from another account. Let me scroll down. I'm a bit behind in the chat because I went on a little rampage. Oh, hang on. Andrew says here, when I was setting up the YouTube memberships with Ike, they could only see my membership stuff if they paid me, and that led me to off-platform membership. Yeah, like that's the thing, right? These are the options. Add a support my mod section to your stream description and drop in their BMAT Ko-Fi links. I mean, that's a possibility, but that's again pushing your audience away from the platform. And is it worth it to push them away to not support your channel? I mean, I'm all for like supporting mods. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just devil's advocating right here. It's the blue blob of plap. Can't even say it. The blue blob of power. Yeah. I would just love it if YouTube would just have a column in the videos tab to indicate if I've added end cards or not. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Gosh. Yes, on the 100 support though, for me, I'd keep my monetary support going to you. I Leanne is the first channel member on my. No, Leanne's my second. Sorry, Leanne, I know this is a sore topic. Leanne is the second channel member on my channel, and there was a rush between her and another person, and so there was like some biffo when she found out she was second rather than first. But yes, I totally understand. You can say TubeBuddy. I won't be. I'm not a moderator on TubeBuddy's channel. At least I don't think I am. Am I? I don't think I am. I don't think I am. There's a channel that what it was like. I won't say the channel, but there's one channel in particular that whenever I say I want to be able to remove myself as a moderator, there's sort of two sides of it. There's the channels that I used to moderate for that I loved moderating for, and their channel pivoted. And the content is now stuff I am no longer in any way supporting. I don't agree with the rhetoric. I don't support it in any way. But because it was the same channel and they pivoted their audience, and then they're doing very well, like it's fine. I just don't want to be a moderator on that channel anymore. And then there's also the channels that see me moderating for you guys, like so Nick, Daryl, Andrew. I think I'm still a StreamYard moderator. I don't know, but like all this sort of stuff. So these guys, where, for whatever reason, no, hang on a second. Yeah, no, they see me moderating. Hang on, my phone's just going crazy. Just let me just put it on silent. Silent. It should have been on silent to start with, but it was not. So they see me moderating on these other channels, and then they just add me as a moderator. I don't know who they are. I don't know what their content is. And I get these random messages like, "Oh, hey, I've just made you a moderator," and you're like, can you remove that? Like, you didn't ask permission." Like, "Oh, we don't need to ask permission. We can just do it." And you're just like, "Yeah, but I'm not going to be doing it." If you unsubscribe from a channel that you are a mod on, do you become unmodded? I don't even know. I don't even know the answer to that. I would assume you do, but I don't know. Hey, Doug. Hey, Doug, do you want to run a test? No, Joanne is not my middle name. Just so you know, it's so not. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We could probably vibe code a widget that shows all the channels that you're a mod for. Doug, could we do that together? Because I don't know how to vibe code, and I'm very curious because I would just love to be able to start making some little tools for myself, but you make them and Nick makes them, and I just don't even know where to start. Andrew says, "Well, I know I made you and Chantelle were under me, Doug." That's not English. I don't know. I think I got made a mod on StreamYard when Dee and Daniel were doing their shows. So yeah. But I don't think I've ever been unmodded. I may have, like, whoever's their channel manager now may have gone through and cleaned it all up. I don't know. I haven't caught one of the live streams in so long. It's not funny. Don't you hate it when a channel you were added to as a mod was bought by Bending Spoons? Yeah, I do. No water, no silent phone. Oh my gosh, yes. It's so not. It's definitely not that. I already have nightmares about being kicked off from modding on Daryl's channel twice. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Channels that I know you were 1 point mods on because I made you mods. Oh, I didn't know you made me a mod on TubeBuddy. Well then, yeah, add that one to my list. Threads is going to hear this? Okay. Oh, look, I can tell you how it's going. People are jumping ship. That's how it's going. There's what's the name of the new software that people are using? There's a new piece of software that came out, and I believe it's been made by the guys who made StreamYard. It's got a really like quirky name, and I cannot think of it, but it's making it so people can just transfer all their videos to somewhere else, and get everything off Vimeo, because the Vimeo process to remove your content is actually quite cumbersome, apparently. No, it's not. It's not that. I can't think of it. I can't think of it. But there's actually a company now that have made it so people can just get their stuff off Vimeo just real fast. Look, I don't know how time fast it is, but a simple process to be able to move their content, because the Vimeo fees went haywire. I've got people in the yarn crafting universe livid. That's it. I think it's really quirky and interesting because we have a livid festival here in Australia, and it's got nothing to do with that. It is. It's livid. Thank you. But yes, Doug said as well, the Vimeo killer service is video hosting is livid, and they've created a funnel that makes it so easy for you just to transfer over, and just get away from Vimeo. But yeah, I know a lot of people like in various industries, but specifically in the yarn crafting industry, who have, like, you buy a pattern from them, so you get the PDF, and the links send you to a like, if you need a specific technique it's not just something normal that you can just look up on YouTube. It's a very specific or custom thing that you need to do. Like it might be like part of the construction or whatever, and the video is over on Vimeo because they don't want people sharing the link, because it is only for those people that bought the pattern. And I think that's a really interesting name. Interesting sort of way to do things, so that you're giving those people that bought the pattern exactly every tool that they need, but then they can't also just go, hey mate, go and just watch this sneaky video and just share the videos out. Because if you share an unlisted video link, so on YouTube, anybody with the link can watch the video. So being able to have it locked down is just that special thing. So I see why people have Vimeo. But they're stuck in this loop now, so I've been telling them all to check out Livid. Gonna have to get Chantelle whatever software is you are using to create those Thor hammers, so she can get rid of the blobs of power. Unfortunately, it's more of a case of Doug needs to give you the software, because it's only like on a viewer level. I can't do it on a channel level. If Ben is in the name, I don't trust that company. Enough said. Yeah, good point. Excellent point. Yeah, excellent. That's really interesting. I hadn't heard of Livid. If you are a Vimeo person, you absolutely need to be going and checking out Livid, like without a doubt. Go and see if it will suit your purposes. It may or may not, but it's definitely worth checking out. Oh gosh, StreamYard confirmed still a mod. Well then, if you're still a mod, then I'd be still a mod. So I'm going to go and check out TubeBuddy too. I didn't know that I was a mod there. So, that's another one. Cool. But yeah, it's very interesting. Like, so as a moderator, we also need to protect our name. So if we're moderating under our own handles, so sometimes you could be moderating under the channel handle, and that's a totally different thing. But if you're moderating under your own name and under your own handle, like Andrew and Doug both are now, that is saying that you are on this person's team, that you agree with this person, whether or not, hey, let's just I'm just remove a standard moderator. But yeah, just having your name associated with that person, you need to think about the imagery that portrays. Is it actually someone you want your name and your brand associated with? So you have to think about these things, and that this is the trick. This is the problem when anyone can make you a moderator. So, and you may not remember that you were made a moderator on that channel. And every now and again, YouTube will pop up, hey, don't forget you're a moderator here. And that will remind you. But if you haven't seen that for a while, then you may forget you're a moderator, and then you might go in and type in the chat. And there's no way for you to see before you've typed. Well, I suppose you could just click on something. Actually, yeah, you can. You could click on the 3 dots and see if you've got all the extra things. So I mean, you can check it, but sometimes you forget. You don't even realize. You're not even thinking. You're not like, oh yeah, no, I'd be a mod. Like, I disagree with this. Next thing you know, the mod has disagreed with whatever. And really delete the comment, because you've realized what you've done. But yeah, it was an interesting, it's an interesting way. It's an interesting way. Andrew said, yeah, I agree. Andrew says, I do agree with you. It's a cosign to a lot of users. And obviously it's not to everybody, right? But a lot of people just look at, if you see that someone is the blue handle with the blob of power in someone's chat, that person has in some way got the not so much even the ear, but that person has got the go ahead from the channel. Oh yes, wouldn't that be nice? Like let me know, whoever leaves it in top chat and goes, oh yes, top chat is superior. Never, not me. I've always live chat. I want to see the comments in the order that they're coming through, please. Not whatever random order that YouTube decides. We could vibe code that. What could we vibe code? What are we vibe coding now? Like with a list of things we're vibe coding. We'll be like, we can do it together, but virtually. Like, oh, we could, you know what, Doug? We could meet up for a coffee and we could actually sit together on your laptop with you typing and me just looking. We could do that too. But yeah, I always switch to live chat. And then if something happens and I look up, I'm like, oh, I'm on top chat again, and move it. And you're just like, grrr, top chat. Why does it even exist? Seriously, get rid of it. I like being able to switch to, like, I can't do it on this channel because it's not monetized. But when you're on a monetized channel, you can switch to the fan funding chat. And it's a way to not miss any of your, like, any member messages or any that kind of thing. Being able to make sure that that you catch every super chat and fan funding message, and the gifts of membership included in that, I can't remember, but not missing that stuff I think is really important. When somebody makes a super chat or does a fan fund message, these are important things for you to acknowledge in your live streams. And sometimes the chat's moving quickly or you're focused on something else and you just totally miss it, And so being able to just double check that you haven't missed it, I think is a really important thing. John says, I didn't even realize I was on top chat until you just mentioned it. Well, then you get in random conversation order. You have no idea what's coming up next. It's like, well, let's just like shake it up and yeah. So Andrew, are you crying because I threatened to not make you a mod anymore? Is that what's going on here? I don't know. Why? Yes. Look, I would hydrate, but I mean, I've got one sip of coffee left. Does that count? That counts, right? There is no liquid in this office now. I will have to literally go to another room and get a water bottle. Could send my daughter a message. Dear Abby, please bring me a water bottle or a cup of water. Let me just, because Andrew is like threatening all sorts of stuff. Where's my messages? Can you please, pretty please, bring me some water? so Andrew doesn't yell at me anymore. There you go. Andrew says, I'll DoorDash you 500 bottles of water. I've got a tap. I've got drinkable water. It's just not in this room, you know. You could just use your BRB screen, you know. I could just be like, I'm off. I'm just going to go and just get water so Andrew just doesn't torment me anymore. How much fun are you guys having with Andrew tormenting me in the chat about my water? It is fun, right? It's fun. Was that last mouthful of coffee cold because of your standard lame cup? Yes, it was. But it's not lame. Louis loves this cup. It's Louis's favorite cup. Andrew says even better. I found 84 pallets of water. Oh my gosh. Yep. Oh, see, you guys are enjoying this. You guys are having fun. Oh, I love that. I love it. 2016 bottles of water. I could just do a live stream of me singing 2016 bottles of water on the wall. 2016 bottles of water. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Get her. That's mean. Live stream consultants. Mean. I'm just saying. I'm going to remember that. Remember the day when live streaming consultants was mean to me in the live stream? Well, yes, I do. You know what? She hasn't even seen the message. I'm going to see if I can just send it to my husband. Forward to Tim, because everyone's working from home today. Please, please, bring me some waters to Andrew. Stops harassing me. But yeah, are we definitely into the squirrel portion of the stream? Yes, we are. We got over that first hour where I try really hard to keep it focused. I don't know if I succeeded or not. Anyway, but we're over that now. And now we are into the fun portion of the stream where we have a good chat and we talk about all sorts of things. And squirrels are definitely involved because squirrels are awesome. I'm just saying. From a person who lives in a country where we don't have squirrels are awesome. I'm sure other people have different opinions about squirrels. Squirrels are awesome. Just hands down. Squirrels and otters are my two favorites. I'm just like squirrels and water squirrels. Or maybe they are otters and land otters. I don't know. Like, to me, they're both super cute. Also, I would like a raccoon. I'm going to throw that out there as well. If we're talking about cute little animals, I also would like a raccoon. Next week's topic. Is it ever okay to bully streamers into hydration? So bullying streamers, if that was a full stop, then there's no into hydration, grey area, you know. So yeah. Oh my gosh. Short stream answer is yes. Just like go live, yes, end stream. Oh, I have a question for you all. All right, as viewers, put your viewer hat on. Boof. If you are going to do a premiere on one of your videos, there's two questions I want you to think about here. Do you feel the need to be in the live chat of the premiere? And do you have a certain length video that you like to premiere? So for me personally, I believe if you are running a premiere, you should be in the live chat. And I want to hear different opinions. If you don't have the same opinion, I'd love to know why. It is. I definitely want to hear, like, because I don't understand why people run premieres and then don't go into the live chat. So I would like to understand that better. But also, with all the big push and everything on premieres, I get a little bit frustrated when it's only like 5 minutes. I feel that the premiere needs to be and not every video needs to be a premiere. Like if you're doing a once a month video, that's one thing. But if you're doing a video every couple of days or every week and you make that a premiere, I want to understand the thinking behind the premieres, because I personally think if you're going to run it as a premiere, you need to be in the live chat and it needs to be a big piece of production that's worth your time for being in the live chat, but the audience's time to be there at that specific moment. So I'm very curious. Like, let me know. Andrew Ken, I'm just checking my threads because you keep threatening me with threads and I don't understand what you mean. So I'm just... Oh my gosh. Okay. I was publicly called out on threads. Oh, and there's lots of people. Oh, Andrew. Okay. So if you guys want to see how Doug's Thor hammer looks, click the link to Andrew Can's threads that's there in the chat. Doug's popped a screenshot in there of his Thor hammer, so you can go and check that as well. You guys are just, I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna read it really well later, but now I understand there's a side chat going on that's about me, but I'm not included in. I don't know how I feel about it, but anyway, let's look here. Okay, this week, is it ever okay to bully streamers when they don't hydrate? Yeah, that's actually a great question. Because I tell streamers to hydrate all the time. I do. Andrew, it will be interesting to see if the water and Yetis are back on the desk next week. Like I was like really torn if I was going to stream this week or not, because I was just so shattered after my amazing weekend away, but I peopled the whole time and it just really drained me, because I'm an introvert doing things that are not necessarily comfortable for an introvert, which involves humaning outside of my sphere. But as I said at the start of the stream, sometimes you need to do those things. Even as an introvert, go to the in-person events for the things that you're passionate about, because you are just missing out. Go to Vid Summit, go to VidCon, whatever it is. I think as a creator, Vid Summit should be the top of the list. I'm also a little bit biased. We all know why. But even before I worked for Daryl, I was always like, Vid Summit looks to be the best event ever, but for creators. And now I'm like, I work for Daryl and Daryl, runs Vid Summit. And so I actually got to go to Vid Summit. And so now I have firsthand experience of knowing that absolutely it is. You should go. If you can go, you should go. Andrew says, I don't recommend premieres since I see them causing a lot of harm for smaller creators. And it's not clear that it's meant for large audiences to show up. Yes, because that's the thing, that's the thing. People don't understand how to correctly utilize the premieres. They just see it as another thing that they can just do, so they just do it. So I really think that some better education and some understanding of what the advantages and disadvantages of running premieres are for different size channels. Absolutely. And there's that delineation, the different size channels. Outside of here's the exclusive release of our new music single video, I don't get the point of premieres. Okay. Livestream consultant says, what is the point of a premiere if you do not attend in the live chat? If you don't do it as a premiere. Just upload it and check the comments after the fact. I 100% agree with that statement. I really do. If you're not going to show up at the premiere, even actors show up to the premieres, right? I'm now working on a benefit stream to raise money to send water for Chantelle Hills. 2016 bottles of water will make sure she will never forget. I think that your 84 pallet lot will fill my entire yard. They won't fit in the house. They will fill the entire yard. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is. It's very cool to be able to have the band hammer instead of the stupid blob of whatever it is. Andrew says that this year for him, he's going to Vid Summit, not VidCon. Okay. Wow. All right. I want to go to Big Summit. I really do. And I try not to be too moany about it, but there's no budget and I can't afford it. And I also can't take the time off at that time. So it's like a lose-lose for me. Okay. Live stream consultant says, okay, everyone here in the chat. It's like everyone's ganging up on me. We all have to bombard Chantelle with messenger note reminding her to have her water and Yetis on hand for next week's stream. Oh my gosh. Right now, so for Doug's, oh my gosh, thank you, Tim. Thank you. I just want to say in your face to all of you. Oh no, there's like all of this. Like, I'll show you later, honey, but Andrew's threatening to send 84 pallets of water bottles. I forgot to bring water in. Yeah. Wouldn't it be even funny if I had just gone, look, see, and then just put it over there and just not had any of it? Yeah, so on Doug's tool that he's using so he can see the Thor hammer, he made the wrench because I think he did the wrench first. Anyway, you can toggle it between the blob, the wrench, and the hammer, and you could possibly do whatever you want, really. Doug says, I might have to start posting some of the simple browser extensions to download. I would download that one. I really would. 2026 bottles of water would be better. Yeah, it's 10 short, isn't it? Yeah. I agree. That's so weird that you can just order 84 pallets of stuff and just get it shipped to someone. Like, that's a huge thing. Like, what if someone lives in an apartment? Like, where's it going to go? Gosh. Chantelle's water pallets donations. Oh my gosh. Wow. Happy to take requests for other blue objects. Gosh. Yep. You know what could be fun? Like a broom, because it's just taking out the trash, or like a dustpan or something. I don't know what would work. Like maybe a little hand brush or something, taking the trash out. That could be a bit funny, although it's a little bit vague. But yeah, it's just a bomb, like a little blowy uppy thing. That might look vague as well. I'm just thinking of single color things. I don't know. I'm gonna give it some thought. It could be fun. Oh my gosh, Andrew. Chantelle's water palette stream. This is a thing now, isn't it? I got the glass of water. It's not going away. Oh my gosh, you guys are such gold, honestly. I love hanging out with you all and laughing and chatting. It's so good. And I'm glad that, it'd be so easy for me to go, okay, information time, end of stream. But for me, this is the good part. This is the part where you guys make me laugh and where I learn things as well. And just, I love this. I absolutely love this. Livestream consultant says you would be absolutely amazed at what you can order and have shipped via freight to someone almost anywhere in the world for a price. Yeah. Oh, there comes a time when you need to drink some water, where the mods must come together as one. We are all a part of one great big streaming family, and we know we must stand together. Oh my gosh. Though now I'm wondering if Andrew will be okay with you using all the water to vibe code and not drink. Yeah. Yep. Excellent point. Apparently a Canadian woman was apparently charged for sending a single lemon to her ex hundreds of times. Oh my gosh. Oh, Larry's in the chat. Larry, here we go.
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee. Cappuccino. Java. Yes!
Larry, it's so good to see you. The Baby Beginner Water Fund. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're terrible. You're all you're all having way too much fun. I just want to point that out. Let's just go with that. Um, I knew that was a backhanded reason for calling it streaming. Oh my gosh. Home rapid repair, jumping in. Oh, it's good to see you, Larry. It's good to see you. Oh, wow. But I do have water now, everybody. My husband brought me a single little glass. And I am drinking it. I am drinking it. Andrew says, I'm thinking I need to do a 2020, a Coney 2012 style video, but for Chantelle needing 84 pallets of water. I really don't need 84 pallets of water. I'm like, I just need to be really clear. I do not need 84 pallets of water. Oh. Okay. Apparently that Canadian woman story is fictional. My bad. Okay. I mean, it sounds good though, right? It does sound good. It does sound good. Oh my gosh. Andrew has started a threads thing. And maybe that's how Larry found out about it. So yeah. The Larry's emoji thing didn't come over onto my stream thing, so I can't bring it on screen, but I like the little waters. Thanks, Home Rapid Repair. Thanks so much. But yeah, it's you know, it's been a big weekend, and like I was saying in the stream earlier, I found it really really interesting. Like I was in a room with 30 women who are sewing, and then just throughout the weekend and the conversations, finding out that 5 of them have YouTube channels, and and some of them like started chatting to each other about their YouTube channels, and just the importance of actually having in-person conversations. I just saw Andrew's comment. But yeah, having the importance of these in-person conversations. So finding the events that suit you and suit your niche. So for like these women, it was a sewing retreat. I made a very cool bag. I am going to show you now that we're in the last half, because I think you will appreciate it. At least the imagery on the bag anyway. Maybe not the fact that I made a bag. But yeah, just having this one common thread, and all of a sudden pulling another common thread. And it was just so interesting to watch. I was also surprised a lot. Like I was very surprised. So yeah, but it's a big bag. I realized I actually don't own an overnight bag. This bag could hold a lot of bottles of water. It really could. Here it is. This is my bag. I've got to put a base in it just to hold the base a bit better, but I've got a piece of acrylic coming for that. But yes, this is my bag, and I put rivets in it, and I got gunmetal grey hardwares, and then inside is all big and huge. My whole dog can fit in there. It's probably dirty because I put my whole dog in there. And there's a pocket. There's a zip pocket that I put a zip pocket in. Hang on, there we go. Zip pocket in. So there's zips. And so yeah, but it's a very big bag. We could fit a lot of bottles of water in it, and it's also I've got to make it yet, but I want to put in a crossbody strap. So I've got the hardware ready for that. I've just got to make another long one of these to add to this with some swivel clips. So yeah, so I made this very cool bag, and this is some grey leather that I bought, some very supple, soft grey leather, so that'll just keep the corners a bit nicer, or just add interesting. But also, how cool is this fabric? I've been hoarding this fabric. I bought it not long after the Force Awakens movies. Not Force Awakens. What was the movie? The movie that the K2SO was in. Anyway, I bought it not long after that. So I've been hoarding this fabric to make this bag. So yeah, and it fits very nicely. And the dog fits in it, the whole dog. So that was my bag that I made at my retreat, where we ended up talking a lot of YouTube, which was so weird. That bag could hold so many bottles of water. Absolutely. Absolutely. Doug has answered the question. So to the answer, the unsubscribe, removed as a moderator. I'm not subscribed to TubeBuddy, and yet I'm still a mod. There you go. Rogue One. That's it. That was the name of the movie. It was totally. Oh, hang on. There we go. The Rogue One. Totally. It was Rogue One. That's when Rogue One came out. I bought that fabric not long after it, and I've been hoarding it ever since. But yeah. But yeah, that's so weird. I'm gonna have to check TubeBuddy now as well. Andrew says, in all seriousness, you're seriously talented in so many ways. I love making things. And obviously you guys can't look at it up close because beginner, all right? Obvious beginner. My bag does not look like the pro bags the other ladies made, but it's still going to function. It's still going to be a great bag, and I'm still going to use it as intended. I'm probably not going to put the dog in it again, but that was very fun. This is not the bag you're looking for. Oh gosh, yeah, that answers the mod versus sub question. Does anybody else think that that's weird, that you can unsubscribe from a channel? So you obviously feel enough to actually click unsubscribe to walk away, and yet you're still a moderator. So they probably could make you a moderator even if you're not subscribed. Actually, that makes sense because like in the live chat, you can't see if somebody's subscribed to your channel or not. You can just make them a mod or not. But I honestly believe that someone should at least be subscribed to your channel if you're going to make them a mod. I also at the same sometimes I'll go in and work for a channel and mod their channel for income. I don't know if I've consciously made the decision to subscribe or not on some of them. On some of them I definitely do, but on others I'm not sure if I have. But yeah, when you're clicking the button to make someone a mod, then you can't see if they're subscribed or not. Yeah, I see the irony there. Don't you worry, I really do. These other ladies are they're exceptionally talented. But one thing I will tell you is I walked away from that weekend with so much knowledge. They were not gatekeepers. They were like, oh, if you want to do this a bit better next time, all you need to do is but. It was fantastic. And I will say I've been to a lot of sewing retreats. This one I walked away from not feeling subpar. Like, yeah, my bag is not perfect, right? But I did so many firsts on that bag that I wasn't expecting it to be perfect. I've never sewn leather before. I've not put rivets in a bag successfully before. I've got them in one bag handle, but it was like my very first time, and I crushed the rivets and they're like these little flat messes. Anyway, like all these things that I knew. I went in expecting this bag to be the learning experience, and it was, and I've just come back like, poof, so much great sort of knowledge. But yeah, so just having people around you, like being in a place where physical people are not gatekeeping information. Because let me know in the chat, do you find that frustrating when somebody's like, oh yeah, I know how to do this thing, but you'll need to come and pay for me to tell you the answer to that? Like, I do get frustrated by that. And I understand that for some people it's their job and they need it. But it doesn't mean I get any less frustrated by it. Oh my gosh. I can send it to her in Australia from an Australian warehouse. And we get a 10% discount for first time purchase. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we don't have Walmart here. Why is there an Australian warehouse? Oh my goodness. Oh wow. That would be so awesome. She would have to record it being delivered so she could post it on her channel. Yeah. Like seriously, if there's 84 pallets of water being delivered to my house, I would record that with my phone and just be like, Andrew. Andrew says, I don't gatekeep and have been yelled at for not doing it. Look, seriously, same deal. I got in trouble from dyers, like yarn dyers. Like back in the day when I was dyeing yarn, I would do live streams where I would literally be dyeing live and talking about mixing colors and techniques and stuff. And I went to an event where there was a whole pile of yarn dyers, and a couple of them came over to have words with me about giving away the trade secrets. I'm like, how are they trade secrets? Oh, no one's going to buy yarn if they know how to dye it themselves. I'm like, yeah, they are, because now they know how much work it is and they're not interested. They just want the yarn. Like, how is, like, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I want her to open the live. I've unfollowed some for doing just that. Is that for gatekeeping? Yeah. Yeah, if you give Leanne a heads up, she'll just hide down my street waiting for the truck. Is Never Fail is a massive water company here in Australia. Yeah, Never Fail's a big water company here. Andrew does seeming Andrew does seem increasingly like a Scooby-Doo villain. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'd love to see where it would be. Like, seriously, if 84 pallets of water rocked up, it would just have to sit in the yard. There's nowhere for it to... Please don't send 84 pallets of water to my house. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Never Fail do the big water cooler water. That's 84 pallets, so that's even worse. Yes, I agree with this. Yeah. I was actually just, he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for the pesky kids or streamers. Wait, I get a discount if I buy 2. Oh my gosh. 600 ml water. It's like, so as an indication, this is probably about 450 mils. Oh, well, if this was full, that'd be about 450. So think of a standard, like go to the store, buy a standard size water bottle. That's about a 600 ml. A yard sculpture. Yeah, it would be. It would be like a sprawling yard sculpture because I can't stack them up because I can't get them back down again. They'll just have to sit next to each other. I'm really lucky I have a 1/4 acre block if I have 84 pallets of water bottles coming. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you could Google 600 mils to fluid ounces, right? Just send a Seinfeld, these pretzels are making me thirsty poster. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Doug did it. Doug did it. We would have enough. We would have enough to create the YouTube play button out of water bottles. It'd be really awesome if the caps were red, but usually the caps are blue. So, yeah. We could make a blue play button. Or we could do it clear with a gap in the middle. We could totally make play button art out of thus bringing it back to craft. We could. I could just cross post it on both my channels and be like collaborating with Chantelle Hills is collaborating with Fiberific. 2 of her personalities are just clashing. Oh my gosh, that'd be probably about the only way I'll get a play button is if I make it out of 2,000 water bottles. That'd be enormous. I'd have the council turning up going, excuse me, are you building a structure? I could build a YouTube studio in the backyard out of water bottles. 2,000 water bottles. Hey, we've got 10 cents a water bottle recycling here. Oh gosh, we're off focus again. So 2,000 water bottles. You know, I could get $200. I'll make $200 out of those empty water. I mean, I have to drink it first, but then they'll be empty. Oh gosh. Next time, make a YouTube bag at sewing camp. Yeah. Chat, can we qualify? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, Leanne, you're gonna have to spread this craziness to the Yarn channel people. Oh, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Leanne's already shared this in our group chat. Oh gosh. Yeah, next time make a YouTube bag at sewing camp. Look, you know what? I was right. I will definitely, what I'll do is I'll make a QR code of like all my top tips and the people that I was referring everyone to, and just get them like scan this. But yeah, oh my goodness. This is so fun. You guys, it's just like, it's not going to happen, right? But it's still so much fun. Just, oh. Good news. Good news. I did the math. I will need to do some sponsored videos, but we can get it done. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna need some like clear packing tape as well, okay? If I really have to make a YouTube play button out of water bottles, I'm gonna need some packing tape to be able to packing tape them together so they don't come apart and just, you know, or maybe I could build a timber frame. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm thinking about this seriously now. This is ridiculous. Like how are we actually gonna do this? Oh wow. I'm like, do I have a flat? My yard is a slopey block, and I'm like, do I have a flat spot that I could do this? Only in my front yard where the whole street can see. Oh. Yeah, that won't be a fun conversation, I'll tell you right now. Oh, I'm like, so the guys on YouTube thought it'd be funny to ship me some stuff. Yeah, there's 84 pallets of water coming. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is just, no, this is a no from me. My yard cannot fit 84 pallets, I don't think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Coolridge. Does Coolridge have red lids? Okay. Oh my gosh, this is just, you guys, you go down a rabbit hole. I thought I went down rabbit holes. You're just you're just skimming the magma and going insane from the heat, right? This we could build a lovely water feature. Oh. I sent 1,209,600 mils of water to Chantelle, and this is what happened. Oh gosh. Be like, hi, can I order like 17,000 rolls of packing tape, please? Oh, what for? I just need to build a sculpture with some water bottles that arrived. Oh my goodness. Is that enough for me to start a pool? Look, I'd have to dig a hole first. But a million water, that's a million mils. How much? Let's see. How much water do I need for a standard pool? Backyard. So that's 50,000 liters in milliliters. So no, maybe a paddling pool. So we would need sort of 50 million milliliters to fill a pool. Oh my gosh. Andrew says, why can I pay this in 24 monthly installments? Why are you in the shopping cart seeing messages like this is more my question. Oh gosh. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't fit on either of my channels. We'd have to make a third channel for just random crap Andrew does. And we could just all collaborate on that channel. Just random crap Andrew does. um, yeah. Goodness me. I wonder if some government agency would intervene if you bought stuff in those quantities. I don't know. I don't know if they would. Like 1,600 water bottles. Like if you were hosting like a marathon thing with 50,000 runners or even 10,000 runners, you'd need at least 10,000 bottles of water for that. Um, Look, Andrew, I believe you have my address. So if you don't, I'm actually relieved because I thought you sent my original Can Do merch to me. Maybe you've only got the PO box. Ha ha ha! You can't send stuff like that to a PO box. Yes, so glad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the thing. Like with it being bottles of water, probably not. If it was something else, probably. Um, no, it is a stunt to push you over the watch hours on this channel with a few million views. Well, I mean, like, it doesn't really fit on this channel. I mean, this whole conversation doesn't. Actually, do you know what? This whole conversation absolutely does fit on this channel if you think about the ends of most of our live streams. Oh my goodness, I'm just going to sip some of this here tap water that I may never need again because I'm apparently... Yeah, Doug doesn't know where I live either. Doug's not been here. So I'm just sort of having... So I do know who has the address that these people may know of. So I'm just like, oh, oh, it is possible for them to find this information with the context that they have within our circles. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to check Andrew's chat. I just need to see what you're all talking about. I need to know what's happening. Andrew can. There we go. This is the chat. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh no, it hasn't continued on, so I am relieved. I am relieved. Goodness me. Yeah. Water tastes so much better. I agree with you. Yes. A big mistake. You did give me your street. Oh, yeah. Oh, dang it. Look, you know what? Yeah, that's that. I don't think it'll come up over here to bring on screen, but live streaming consultants is 100% right. My daughter would give me up so easily. Like they'd just be like, "Oh, you want to prank my mum? Cool, no problems. Here's our street address." Yeah, yeah. Just like there you go. Like she sent it to you so fast that you get whiplash. Yep. Yeah. No doubt. Ah. Andrew is like, Chantelle, are you home in 10 business days for no reason in particular? Oh, I'm so glad that this cost real human money and that's enough reason for it not to happen. I'm so glad that this is okay. I'm still getting over I'm on like a lot of asthma meds. I'm trying really hard not to cough. Yeah, human monies. That's right. Like what's the problem with human monies? Um oh wow. With the 24 monthly payments, that bit will be so worth it. Oh, oh. Yep. When you thought you had friends, but it turns out that no. No. Yep. I see you. All right, it's been real, but I better get off this couch and go do things. Have a nice week. You too, John. Have a good one. I too have to run away. It's been an exceptionally long stream, and I've had so much fun. Andrew says for only $40 a month over 2 years, I can just send you so much water. Man, I was hoping it was going to be like ridiculous $bucks to make it like not worth it. Yeah, I know, Leanne. Don't ever admit to not bringing water into the office again. I know. Total mistake. I'm never going to forget my water bottle again. I'm just like... Sorry. Yeah, I'm not gonna forget it ever again. Oh my goodness. Well, on that hydration notice, I think we're gonna call it. We're calling it. You guys are terrible and awesome and wonderful, but terrible. And I'll catch us all back next week if you happen to be, awake. Have a great week, you guys. Thank you so much for starting my week off with like just ridiculous amounts of laughter, honestly. Absolutely. But $10 super chats a month, we get her drowned in bottled water for years. Yep. I see that. I see you. I see you guys scheming. I'll be checking the off stream chats just to see how far down this rabbit hole you all end up. I hope you all have an awesome week. Stay hydrated, or Andrew may just ship 84 pallets of bottled water to your house. And I'll catch you all next time. I'm scrolling with my finger and my mouse because I can't use my Stream Deck. But I will catch you all next time. Bye now.